Hi, I'm Colin. I never expected to be telling this story, but sometimes life throws you curveballs that leave you spinning. For 12 years, my wife Vanessa and I built what I thought was a solid marriage, a nice suburban home, successful careers, and plans for the future. Morning sunshine, I said, sliding a cup of coffee across our kitchen island to Vanessa. She barely looked up from her phone. Thanks, she mumbled, her thumbs tapping rapidly against the screen. My colleague Dave had noticed it first. Man, Vanessa seems really distracted lately. Everything okay with you two? He asked during our lunch break last week. What do you mean? We're fine, I replied, confusion creeping into my voice. Dave hesitated, setting down his sandwich. Look, I'm only saying this because you're my friend. She's been meeting this guy at Riverside Cafe every Wednesday for the past month. My wife saw them together. That's probably just a client or colleague, I said, but something cold settled in my stomach. Maybe, Dave shrugged. Just seems weird she's never mentioned him. I tried to brush it off, but the seed of doubt was planted. That evening, I casually brought it up. How was your day? Any interesting meetings? I asked, watching her expression carefully. The usual, budget reports, client calls. She didn't meet my eyes. Riverside Cafe has great lunches. Ever been there? Her head snapped up. Sometimes. Why? Just wondering. Dave mentioned it today. Vanessa's phone buzzed. She grabbed it quickly. I need to take this, she said, walking to our bedroom and closing the door. That night she came to bed late. When I woke the next morning, she was already dressed, a suitcase by the door. Going somewhere? I asked, rubbing sleep from my eyes. Vanessa stood tall, her expression resolved. Colin, we need to talk. About what? My heart hammered against my ribs. It's over. I've been meaning to tell you for weeks. What's over? I asked, though I already knew. Us, our marriage. I've met someone else, someone who makes me feel alive again. The room seemed to tilt. How long? 3 months. His name is Philippe. He's a client who became more. 3 months, I repeated, numbness spreading through my chest. And you're leaving now? Just like that? She lifted her chin. Philippe is taking me to Paris, today. I've already filed the divorce papers. They're on the counter. Paris, I echoed, the word bitter on my tongue. You always wanted to go there. Yes. And Philippe is actually taking me, not just talking about it for years. That stung, and she knew it. I'd promised her Paris for our 15th anniversary, still 3 years away. Vanessa checked her watch. My cab will be here soon. Philippe is meeting me at the airport. Does everyone know? Am I the last to find out? No one knows yet. I'll call my parents from Paris. The doorbell rang. Vanessa grabbed her suitcase. I'll contact you through my lawyer. As she reached the door, something inside me shifted. The shock receded, replaced by a cold clarity. Vanessa? She turned, perhaps expecting tears or pleading. I smiled. Enjoy the best trip ever. Confusion flickered across her face before she walked out of our home and my life. 30 minutes later, my phone rang. It was Mia, Vanessa's best friend since college. Colin, are you okay? Vanessa just texted me she's going to Paris with some guy named Philippe. Yeah, that about sums it up, I replied, surprised by the steadiness in my voice. Oh my God, I had no idea. What are you going to do? I stared at the divorce papers on the counter. First, I'm going to call my friend Alexis. She's the best divorce attorney in the state. She did what? Alexis practically shouted across her mahogany desk, her Boston accent thickening with her disbelief. Her reputation as a shark in divorce court was well-earned. Beneath her polished exterior lurked a tactical genius who took personal betrayal as a professional affront. Left this morning for Paris with her French lover, I repeated, sliding Vanessa's hastily drafted divorce papers across the desk. Alexis scanned the documents, her frown deepening. These are garbage, absolutely garbage. She's trying to claim no fault while asking for 60% of your assets. Not happening on my watch. What should I do? I asked. Alexis tapped her red nails against the desk. First, we gather information. Everything about this Philippe person. When they met, how long it's been going on, and most importantly, if they've been using marital funds for their little romance. My phone buzzed with a text from Mia. Can we meet? I have something important to tell you. I think I might have a starting point, I said. An hour later, Mia sat across from me at a quiet corner table in Joe's diner. Her eyes were red-rimmed, her usual bubbly demeanor subdued. I feel horrible, she began, twisting a napkin between her fingers. I had no idea about Philippe until today. You have to believe me. I believe you, I assured her. What did you want to tell me? Vanessa accidentally connected her cloud account to my laptop last month when she was helping me with photos. She never disconnected it. Mia pushed her phone across the table. Her photos and messages still sync to my devices. There's a lot. I scrolled through dozens of intimate messages between Vanessa and Philippe, dating back nearly 4 months. Photos of them together. Screenshots of flight confirmations, hotel reservations, all paid for with our joint credit card. There's more, Mia said quietly. Keep scrolling. I found what she meant. Screenshots of our investment accounts, bank statements, property valuations, all sent to Philippe. He's been asking about your finances since their second date, Mia explained. And Colin, I looked him up. Philippe Renault isn't some wealthy businessman. He's been sued 3 times for fraud, targeting wealthy women, taking their money and disappearing. You're sure? I asked, my mind racing. Completely. I found his real name. It's Philip Brennan. He's American, not French. The accent is fake. He's a con man with outstanding warrants in 2 states. My brother Tyler's voice startled me as he slid into the booth beside me. Sorry I'm late. Got held up at the station. As a detective, Tyler had access to resources I needed right now. Did you run that name I texted you? I asked. Tyler nodded grimly. Philip Brennan, a.k.a. Philippe Renault, a.k.a. Pierre Dubois, a.k.a. at least 4 other aliases. Wanted for fraud and theft in California and Florida. He slid a file folder across the table. And get this, his typical MO includes romantic trips to Paris where he cleans out his victims' accounts while they're abroad and disappears. He's after Vanessa's money, Mia whispered. Our money, I corrected, and he doesn't know that I know. What are you thinking, bro? Tyler asked, recognizing the look on my face. I'm thinking we need to make some calls. Vanessa just landed in the city of love with a wanted criminal. It would be a shame to ruin their romantic getaway. Or would it? Are you absolutely certain you want to proceed with this? Agent Diane Foster asked, her stern FBI demeanor softened slightly by concern. We sat in a conference room at the local field office, surrounded by surveillance photos of Philippe with various women, all wealthy, all eventually defrauded. I've never been more certain of anything, I replied, signing the final affidavit. Your wife may face questioning as well, Diane warned. While she appears to be another victim, her involvement will be scrutinized. I understand, I said, but she made her choice. Tyler leaned forward. How soon can your international team intercept them? They're coordinating with French authorities now, probably within 24 hours, Diane replied. Mr. Warren will need you to be available by phone throughout. Later that evening, my doorbell rang. When I opened it, I found Vanessa's sister Rachel standing there, fury etched across her features. What did you do? She demanded, pushing past me into the house. Hello to you too, Rachel, I said calmly, closing the door. Mom just called me in hysterics because she got some cryptic message from Vanessa about starting a new life in Paris with a man none of us have ever met. I gestured toward the living room. You might want to sit down for this. I don't want to sit down. I want to know what happened. You two were fine at Christmas. Were we? Or was Vanessa already seeing Philippe by then? December? Let's see. That's about 4 months ago, so yes, she was already sleeping with him. Rachel's anger faltered. What are you talking about? Your sister left me for a con artist who's currently taking her to Paris to steal her money, our money, before disappearing. He's done it to at least 7 other women. That's ridiculous, Rachel stammered. Is it? Here, I handed her my phone with the evidence Mia had provided. Feel free to scroll through their entire relationship, including the part where she sent him all our financial information. Rachel sank onto the couch, her face paling as she scrolled. Oh my God. Does she know? About him being a con man? No, and right now the FBI is working with French authorities to arrest him as soon as they check into their hotel. You called the FBI? Rachel's eyes widened. My phone rang. Diane's number. Excuse me, Rachel, but this is actually them now. I answered, putting it on speaker. Hello? Mr. Warren? They've been intercepted. Mr. Brennan is in custody. Your wife is currently with French authorities giving a statement. She's being treated as a potential victim, but will be thoroughly questioned. Thank you, Agent Foster. Keep me updated. After hanging up, I looked at Rachel. Sounds like their romantic Paris getaway just hit a snag. Colin, I don't know what to say. I had no idea Vanessa would do something like this. Neither did I. 12 years of marriage, and I never saw it coming. My phone buzzed again, a call from a French number. I answered. Colin? Vanessa's voice was shaking. Colin, something terrible has happened. Philippe has been arrested. They're saying he's some kind of criminal. I need your help. I took a deep breath. Hello, Vanessa. How's Paris? Colin, please. They're saying terrible things. That Philippe is a con man, that he's wanted in America. I don't understand what's happening. Did they explain that he's defrauded multiple women? That he was planning to clean out our accounts and disappear? Silence. Then, you know about this? Colin, please tell me you didn't have anything to do with this. Enjoy the best trip ever, I repeated my parting words. Give the FBI my regards. The airport terminal buzzed with activity as I waited near the international arrivals gate. 3 days after her dream Paris vacation imploded, Vanessa was returning home, alone, humiliated, and facing serious questions about her knowledge of Philippe's criminal activities. Flight 237 from Paris now arriving at Gate 14, announced the overhead speaker. Alexis checked her watch. Right on time. Are you ready for this? Completely, I replied. Mia shifted nervously beside me. She's going to be furious that I helped you. You did the right thing, Tyler assured her, his police detective instincts on high alert as he scanned the crowd. Passengers began streaming through the gate. Finally, I spotted Vanessa, disheveled, exhausted, a shadow of the confident woman who had left me just days ago. When she saw our welcoming committee, she froze. Welcome home, I said, stepping forward. How was Paris? You set me up, she hissed, eyes darting between us. You ruined everything. I set you up? I laughed without humor. That's rich. No, Vanessa, your boyfriend set you up. I just made sure he got caught before he emptied our bank accounts. He wouldn't have done that. You don't understand what we had. What you had was a con man working his mark, Alexis interjected smoothly. By the way, I'm Alexis Chen, Colin's divorce attorney. Those papers you left? Completely inadequate. We'll be filing our own. Vanessa's face crumpled. Colin, please. I made a terrible mistake. Philippe, or whatever his name is, he manipulated me. I see that now. Like you were manipulated into sending him our financial information? Into planning to divorce me and take 60% of our assets? I was confused. He made me think, stop. My voice was firm. I'm not interested in your excuses, but I still love you. We can fix this. Tears streamed down her face as she reached for my hand. I stepped back. No, we can't. Agent Foster sends her regards, by the way. The FBI has some follow-up questions about your knowledge of Philippe's activities. Tyler nodded. They're particularly interested in those financial documents you sent him. You need to know something, I continued. The FBI found evidence that Philippe was planning to disappear with about $2 million, our money, leaving you stranded in Paris with a hotel bill you couldn't pay and no ticket home. I didn't know, she whispered. Maybe, maybe not. Either way, we're done. Vanessa turned to Mia. And you, my best friend? You betrayed me? Mia straightened her shoulders. No, Vanessa, you betrayed Colin. You betrayed your marriage. You betrayed our friendship by lying to everyone. What happens now? Vanessa asked quietly. Alexis smiled coolly. Now we proceed with divorce filings. Given the circumstances, your documented infidelity, attempted financial misconduct, and possible criminal implications, Colin will retain the house and the majority of your assets. You can't do this to me, Vanessa protested. Actually, we can, I replied. Oh, and your parents know everything. They're understandably devastated. Colin, please, give me another chance. We can work through this. I really looked at her one last time. The woman I had loved for 12 years, a stranger now. Goodbye, Vanessa. As we walked away, leaving her standing alone amidst the bustling airport, Mia asked, Do you think she really didn't know about Philippe's plans? Does it matter? I replied. Later, sitting on my brother's deck watching the sunset, Tyler handed me a beer. You holding up okay? Better than I expected, I admitted. It still hurts, but not in the way I thought it would. What now? He asked. I took a long sip, considering the question. Now I start over, rebuild, maybe take a real Paris trip someday, with someone worth taking. Think you'll ever trust anyone like that again? Eventually, I said, watching the last light fade from the horizon. But next time, I'll trust my instincts more. The warning signs were there. I just didn't want to see them. The evening breeze carried away the last remnants of a life I'd thought was permanent. But as I sat surrounded by people who had stood by me when it mattered most, I realized something important. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about hurting someone who hurt you. It's about finding justice, protecting yourself, and walking away with your dignity intact. Have you ever had to rebuild your life after someone betrayed your trust? How did you find the strength to start over? Share your story in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more real-life drama and redemption stories.